the way everything's changing around us, spring ahead is the thing. Today, folks, you folks notice today is a day that one of the grandest newsletters in the world, recent edition, got published today. And Jay did such a great job on it. It's unbelievable. But our newsletter is out today and it's got some beautiful work, but included in the newsletter are features that you don't find elsewhere. And that is, we have articles in our newsletter written by Turners who do some valuable, important, beautiful work. And they contribute their knowledge and write an article on how to do this and that. And then sometimes those things run into 2 or 3 segments, but they keep bringing them back to us. That's what our membership does. Bring them back to us. Every time I work on doing something for this club, I'm just amazed at how much effort you members put into this thing. My wife and I were sitting around today. She's been playing this game with me since since Dane teased me about Carl being on the program meeting tonight. He wouldn't tell me who it was. He would, and I was supposed to guess. So she kept throwing names at me all day long of Turners it would be. Could it be this guy? Could be that guy? Could be, and and that's what we've been going through. I said, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Carl, your name came up, Carl. But she ran into so many things, and we were sitting there and I said, you've come up with all these great Turners, and all those people could actually be members and be here to do demos. None of them are excluded. They're all included. And it was so good. It's refreshing when you think about that, folks, is that we have access to people with talents like this. And we really do. We can go to them, we can talk to them, we can get feedback from them. We've got a lot of them on one button on our telephone to call them and say, hey, what about such and such? Can you help us out with that? Can you do this? Can you do that? When I explain our philosophy and what we do and how we get it done, the thing always comes back to the nickel. And that's what I'm the most proud of stuff. We do so much without worrying about the damn nickel that other people have to jump in and try and insert their own or try to steal from us or use us to make a buck. And we've never tried it. And it's very pleasant to know that you can get a bunch of people together to do something because they just love it and they like what they're doing. And I mean, Matt Harper said, and he goes, that clock plugged in because, that would bug Matt to no end because he's going to be trying to do the math while he's in the meeting here, really, because we keep an eye on those things. We keep an eye on details because if it's distracting to us, we know it may be distracting to somebody else. And that one little blip, that one little cricket in the woods will take your thought away from what's going on. And I've got a radio and TV background. I did that for years. And I realized that, concentration of the information is important. It's not what it is. It's the concentration. If you vary off a little bit, you lose them. You can't have a little squiggle in the sidewalk. It won't go that way. So we work very hard at getting people to do demonstrations that can concentrate on the target and stay there. Now, if we got to fill in the gaps, we'll fill in the gaps. But I like the way that we go to wood turners for this advice. And and because we're using wood turners, sometimes they don't have the thought process of an instructor. So they didn't map out their plan. I'm going to go from A to B. Well, in my brain damage days, still got them. What I tried to explain to some doctors a while back after this happened. Life comes at you A, B, C, D, right? No, everybody, your life goes A, B, C, D. When I got back in my shop, I would go A, B, C would show up, but I was going to D. And that's not a good move. It's never a good move. And we talked about that, and we talked about it many times before. When you go, you really need to say, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this spinning at 3,000 RPMs. I'm gonna take this razor sharp tool and I'm gonna stick it into that. Doom. Yeah, all that's gotta be thought, and then what?
Gotta make
Then
room for daddy.
Pardon?
As a live mic.
And then I wanna reach and get for something? No. It's A, B, C, that's part of C, and then D. So, and with our what we do here, we try to work that in. So sometimes in the middle of a demo, you'll hear one of our very thoughtful and incisive members say, well, shouldn't you about, because we will catch it immediately. Not to want to correct a demonstrator, but maybe didn't perceive that they skipped over to D or skipped over to C. It's human nature. It's in here, but we need it out there. So today we went through this a whole lot, looking through things, and I'm still working on some promotions for Level Up.
Yes.
Are we ready to announce the new addition to the Level Up format? I mean, the new member, the new demonstrator coming on board. Are we ready to announce that yet?
Well, yeah, we're definitely ready to announce it, but I'd like to delay it.
Okay.
Well, we can announce it now, and then we can do it later on when we got more people on. But today,
all I gotta say is once again, we have a world-renowned Turner. Awesome, world-renowned Turner joining us and Level Up. Another one.
yep, internationally acclaimed.
We're not done yet.
That's right. Trace Lynette is going to be an anchor demonstrator. He has fabricated his own demonstration rose engine lathe. So he's built an 18 by 30 monstrosity that he can use all the attachments and cutters from his two large rose engines. And he's going to bring that up, and he's going to demonstrate how to use a rose engine lathe, and folks are even going to be able to get their little hands on the controls and be able to do a little bit of turning themselves on the rose engine. So he offered that up this morning to me. So we'll make another announcement again later.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And we're not done yet, folks. We're not done yet. Level Up's not that far away. And every time we make a little tweak in it, you're going to find out about it on the world's greatest website for wood turning, worldwidewoodturners.org. It's right there. And there's a few glitches in the site with addresses and all, but hey, we're stompers, not steppers. We're going to stomp right over the top of that little problem and get to it. And we're going to have a little promotion video available by next week. It'll explain just what should not happen, but to make it easier on you. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can show you how to make it a one-button touch on your computer to come to worldwidewoodturners.org.
Yes.
Yeah, one button. And it can be that simple. And oh yeah, if anybody says you can buy this or buy that to come here, we don't have a treasurer.
Trying to scan. Yeah.
It's Uncle Bob. We don't have an Uncle Bob out back. Although I have a couple of Uncle Bubs that would probably take the job. I got one that would probably give us a cut. But if you
Right.
a Level Up's coming, we'll get more details coming and more things coming. But it looks to be a fantastic event. It is your wood turning experience. I keep getting asked, what is it? It is your wood turning experience. There's no other way to describe this event. We can't call it what other people call them. We can't relate it to what other people have done and related to, because it's not there. It's not there. We went through and took a lot of things that worked and brought them all together at one time. We left one thing out, the cost. Because if you compare what our experience cost and where it will be, compare it to the cost of other we're going to put on one hell of a show. It's going to be a really great thing. I can't wait for it. Somebody just put in the chat that our newsletter is out today. Yes, it is. But do me a favor, when you see the newsletter on our Facebook page, it's in a couple of versions. It's in the version that we originally posted at, and then I get it converted to PDFs. And I get it converted to PDFs because some computer services, including my Mac on one of my programs, won't let me break up the format and send out pages. Well, as a club, we're not locked into this format type thing. We want you to see what we do and how it is. So we make it very easy. So the one I post is in PDFs. So you can go to that, see the PDF, clip that page and post it someplace else. And we're okay with it. All pages are branded or labeled or franked, if they call it. And we get due recognition for it. But more importantly, we get to share that information. We get you to share that information. And that's what this whole Roogamoo thing is all about, is sharing information. If I know it, you should know it. If you know it, we should all know it. And why should who's got a nickel make a difference on who knows what? And I know I keep saying the thing about the nickel so much, but why would we limit somebody who can't? Physically or emotionally or financially can't? Why would we limit them on enjoying what we enjoy?
Right.
Dues and membership fees and all that all have a purpose. We have found a way to avoid that. And it makes me feel good that I can have a guy that can keep going with us and stay up with us and participate with us and show his art and show his work. And he can't do this on a step that if he had to pay to belong. And I can't. I wouldn't. So we formed this thing with the help of a whole bunch of my friends. Half of them said wouldn't work. The other half said that it will go. Guess which half is still with us? The half that said it would work. And when Dane kept saying, you're going to do a demonstration. I really, yeah. Even those that said it would never ever work, I see him peeking in every once in a while. And you don't know who watches it. This thing is probably the most watched wood club meeting in the world every week. Besides the live part, it's when it goes on tape. Because remember, we are the club that every single thing we do is right here. That's right. We have got the world's greatest website, webmaster. That's him, right? He's right out there. It's Dave Rhodes. He's out there. He's working on your site as we speak. Yes, he's on it. There's a glitch. We don't know where it came from. Dave's finding out what's going on, and he's going to fix it. He's dedicated to it. It's not 5 after 5 and he's got to punch out and go home. That doesn't happen. No, he does that website every single day. Not weekly or monthly or whatever, every single day. And then you have the editor of the newsletter, JJ. He came to us with that offer. No advertisements, no BS, nothing. There's nothing hidden in it. We're very careful about that. And then, you put this in it too. And all the stuff that's on that website, the newsletter, the meetings and all that. We are the greatest source for wood turning information in the world, and we're proud of it. I tell you that because I need your help. Yep, here it comes. Need your help. I need your input. Yeah, that's all it is. I just need your input. I need some more photographs of what you do. I need to know how you did it. You know, saying, hey, I just turned this and it looks pretty nice, huh? Nifty, huh? That's nice. That's like a light switch that doesn't click. You know, I need to know more. How did you rough that in? How did you hold it? Did you, you know, and we do this all the time. You see it. Think about it when you hear those questions come up during the meetings when the guy says, how did you hold that back? How did you flip that over and all around? I saw something the other day where I think it was Grinstead, and it had Bob Grinstead and Duxbury involved in a conversation about a holdback plate. And as I looked at it, I said, everybody doesn't have that? You know, wait a minute. I've got that, and I've got a plus and minus on that. And I was describing it to my a buddy, and he said, what do you mean a plus and a minus? And I said, well, I've got it faced off with a plus, and I got it faced off with a minus. And one of them is I got a soft mouse pad in front of it. Put a minus, I can get it how on a plus, I get it there. He said, well, why don't you do a tip or a hint? You know what? Because I'm stupid. It took Duxbury and Grinstead, those two guys, two great turners, to show me, oops, I got someone in the shop that'll work on this. Same thing with jam chucks, vacuum chucks, all these things. These are little tips and hints that you have in your shop that I think everybody should know about. So clip up a bunch of photographs, send them to us. If JJ can't work them out, he'll call you back and say, okay, exactly what does this do? Let's take a better picture of it. Let's do that. You know, can we put it together? And of course, soon as Dane does it, he's going to call you and ask you to do a demo. You know that's coming, okay? So get all ready for it, because if
the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, you bet.
Yeah, it's easy that way, but that's how things happen here. But what I really like is I saw that and said, well, they're making it seem like that's a flash. You know, that's not a flash. You know, why do I have it? Because I was too cheap to buy that other thing that you bolt on and put the rubber stoppers in. And I looked at one and said, well, I can make that out of plywood. And then I found out I used wrong plywood. So then, you know, and things, you know, like that. So we need your help, folks. We need to give you to give us the input for newsletter, photographs, the articles, write your own series of stuff. Whatever you do. And it's whatever you do. One of my favorite members in this club is Brenda. She is one of my favorite members because when we got started, the joke was, and her nickname is Band-Aids Brenda. Remember, she used to come and say, look, no Band-Aids today, no Band-Aids, you know, because it was the biggest, how well did you do today? Well, I have no Band-Aids on. But Brenda's way, way beyond Band-Aids. She's way out there. She's traveling in the stars. And she's done some great articles for us because it's Brenda telling us how she interpreted something and how she performed something and got it done. And it's just that simple. You have an idea of something we can do and how we get around it. Just now, Carl was saying about a decal or a sticker that you can print and then put under a clear coating. One of our members showed us a while back, and I can't remember who he was because it was on a laser printer, and I, for some reason, voided that out of my encyclopedia here. But he was cutting those discs on his laser printer, all embossing and all that, and it was actually looking like antique coins. And they were really nifty. But he found the pattern free on the internet. And it was so cool. And the whole world out there to be putting. So you come up with a little idea, a little nugget like that, share with us. And we'll make you famous. Or at least we'll talk about you. All right. It's a little bit at the top of the hour, folks. We normally wrap up our BS session or our chit chat session. We get into gallery tips and hints, ideas.
Yes.
And don't forget, if you've got something to show anytime during a meeting, all you have to do is go to the chat and put in, I have something to show. And our directors will call upon you. And all these folks, volunteers, they all work for you. They're all members of your club. And we look at it and remember, always remember, we have a no but guarantee. I can look at all the work you have in the world, but I'm not permitted to say but. I can not admire your work. I can drool over your work. I can do whatever I want over your work, but I cannot say, I like that but. That's your art. I have to respect your art. So with that, where are we heading, Dane?
Well, let's see. Let's go see what Mr. Dewey's got for us tonight.
Dewey.
Well,
I see him there.
See if it's we'll
Don't
see
make
if
it
it's
too
an
flashy,
update
Dewey.
to that wonderful piece he's been working on.
Well, greetings from Crowley, Texas, 15 miles south of Fort Worth and 1,118 miles south of Wisconsin Rapids. So last week I showed you this.
Yes.
And showed you the back, and Dane said, fix the back. So I did.
That's nice.
Yay.
Good fix.
Look at that.
The text
Nice.
is with a pneumatic rust picker that I got from Harbor Freight.
Wow.
And then there's there's a Sorby texturing thing, but it's I put black dye on it first, and then I'll come back and try to make turquoise. It turned out a little bit green. It's greener in my eye than it is on the camera. But then I also come back and put a little bit of gold on top of that. So anyway, it's going to empty bowls for our charity, one of the charities that we support in our club.
Very nice, Dewey.
You'd never know at all what was there last week. Never. That's really pretty
Right.
good. Nice job.
Short memory.
Very nice.
That
Yeah.
is.
Good job, Dewey.
All right, thanks. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you letting me show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for showing.
Nice job, Dewey.
Nice.
Really.
All right. Go see the general of the Band-Aid Brigade.
There she is.
Okay. So I got this.
There
Look
it
at
is.
Ain't that pretty?
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Until I
I
started
remember
hauling
seeing
it
that.
out.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's the same
Oh,
one.
no.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
It's
Hey,
not
that's
supposed to
over.
go that far.
That's modern art, guys. Modern
That's
art.
what I was
Yeah.
going to say. That's an artistic
Hey,
piece.
Abby,
That's a yarn bowl now.
well, he ain't holding no oatmeal now, is it?
No.
No, it's not a good soup bowl.
It'll hold
No.
yarn.
That thing was turning out so pretty. Loved
It
it.
was.
Oh my God. Painted the rim black and then added the what is that? No, not the iridescent paint. The two-way paint looks blue on one side and
Chameleon.
Yeah, the chameleon paint.
color shift.
Rust-Oleum.
Color
Yeah,
shift.
color shift.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
color
Rust-Oleum.
shift
Color
paint.
shift.
Blue
Chameleon.
and
Same
purple.
thing.
So anyway, that one, I don't know, evidently I had a catch in here and it just blew up. There's a piece missing here too. So, but
Looks
I
looks
feel
like you
like-
got it just a little bit thin in a couple of places.
yeah, I
What?
think that's what happened. That
That's $1,000 piece in some places.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, you have to do the same thing to the other side.
Yeah,
That'd be a
Yeah.
Duxbury idea.
Don't tempt her.
Yeah. So anyway, I
You know what,
might,
You could always cut it in half, Brenda, and then you have a shelf. Put it
Yeah.
on the wall.
yeah.
Brenda, what you
Fill
could
it with-
do is
fill
take,
it with
is
rosin.
take a whole roll of saran wrap, wrap around that outside. That way it's nice and secure and it's not going to go anywhere. And then you can finish carving out the inside bowl bottom. And then you've got a completed project.
Well, I figured I'd put it back on the lathe and take this part off. And then
Well, then
pop
you can
it out.
You can squeeze it back together.
Think?
You got all kinds of options. Put it on your slacker stack.
Have you got the pieces that flew off?
Yeah, I do have the one piece that it came off, but it's still gonna have holes in it.
Well, that's okay. You can fix it.
I don't
Yep.
think,
I think
so.
they call it epoxy.
Yeah, that's what they make resin for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm no good at resin.
Good way to
slacker
start.
stack. Put it on your slacker stack and come look at it in a couple of years.
Couple years. This was
Or
a
a
piece
couple
that,
months.
Chinese elm
Chinese elm.
got.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
was trying to
know-
make my
you know,
daughter a
Brenda-
bowl now.
You know, Brenda, what you were thinking about, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Cut the whole thing off and you'll have just a smaller bowl.
Yeah. I think that's probably what I'll do, but
I mean, it's
I don't
there.
know. I don't know. Can I
So
say
give
something
me
now
the
about the,
temptation, Dan.
contact list?
Be nice.
I'll tell you what. Any of the new members that do not have the contact list, I highly recommend it. I've got another project out in the garage on the lathe now, and I messed it up this week too. And instead of waiting until Wednesday night and asking for some help, I got my contact list out, contacted a couple of guys. Okay, they're not always available, right? So called another one. He was a little busy, was going to get back with me. Got hold of another one. He told me what to do. So got the problem solved. And it didn't have to wait till Wednesday night. Okay, so if you have any trouble, you call any of these guys anytime, and they will either fix your problem, call you back, help you out. So I highly recommend you get a hold of the contact list. These guys are great.
You're welcome.
Call Scott unless you got all day to talk to him.
Sorry.
Brenda.
Yeah, that is Brenda. Sorry, I didn't have time to get back to you, Brenda.
No, that's all right. That's quite all right. I totally understand. You know, you guys are busy too. And, you know, Scott, I called Billy Burt. He was at lunch. He was going to call me back. In the meantime, Scott got a hold of me. So problem solved. There's no, you know, also called Dane. He was a little busy.
Wait, if Billy was at lunch, you'd expect a call right back. I mean, you gotta think of how long that takes.
I was on the way to the veterinarian. Otherwise, I would have dropped everything.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, these guys are great. But I also understand they got a life too, you know. So, but if one of them can't get a hold of you, or you can't get a hold of one, there's a bunch of others.
Yeah,
So
okay.
somebody will get a hold of you.
Right?
You got a little explanation for the contact list. We'll run in a few moments to explain to folks how you get there and how you get out and where it comes from.
There you go. Yeah.
Dane posted a link. All you gotta do is email the webmaster at worldwidewoodturning.org,
There you go.
woodturners.org.
Or
And the
or
link is
or email.
above, so.
And even the three that I
Email
got a hold
myself.
of this week. In the past, I've gotten a hold of Trace. I don't know the
Me.
name. I've talked to Martin,
Trace Lynette.
Trace
Mark
Lynette.
Slay.
Yeah, Mark Soleil. Don't call him unless you got all day either. But anyway,
That's a
I can't say more. I can't say enough about the contact list. And these guys are great. Matter of fact, I've even had one guy even call me. Can you believe that?
No,
Anytime, I mean, you see something on one of the demos. Next day you got a question. Well, it's not posted yet. You want to get a hold of that demonstrator. Pull out the contact list, call him up. He'll probably just fix your problem right there. Answer your questions. Yeah. These guys are great. Most of us are retired and got nothing else to do but talk all day. So that's all for me.
No Band-Aids.
Problem, Scott, I did fix the problem. The problem has been solved.
that's good.
Good.
Glad I could help.
You'll see that project in I don't know, maybe next week. So,
Sounds good.
Right on.
all I got.
Thank you, Brenda. And if a person would like to be included on the contact list, all you got to do is put your information that you would like to make available to any of us in the chat tonight, and David Rhodes will pull that information out and add it to our existing contact list, and it'll be updated for the version that he maintains and the version that I maintain. That in turn we will send out when it's requested. So with that, is there anything else you got turning there you want to show, Brenda, or is that it?
That's it for tonight.
All righty. Well, thank you very much. And appreciate the kind words on the wonderful
You guys are great.
contact list we have. You're welcome. Thank you.
Enough about you guys.
All right. Let's go see Mr. Slaughter. Hey, Dale.
Hi. Okay, I got 3 pieces to show. The first one, little maple bowl stained with wine stain and dye, and then cherry dye, and then I used your oil process stain
Oh, okay.
to
Nice.
get a glossy finish on it.
Very nice.
For you.
Coach, you got on it then?
Let's see, I got 2 coats of the 60/40, and I think I put 3 coats of the full
Okay.
tung oil on it.
100%. Okay.
Yep,
That's getting there. It looks good. Looks
Yep.
good. Pretty wood.
Yes.
yep.
Beautiful.
And
piece.
then this one, this little blue bowl, it's got, I think that's sea blue I put on it. And this one, all the dots and stuff, holes you see in it, those are bug holes. That's nature's holes.
And his didn't blow up. Mhm.
And the finish on this, I used Alumalite's amazing clear coat, only I diluted it with some DNA because I used it on another piece I'm going to show you in a minute. And the first time I used it, it was too thick and looked too much like
Dark. It was too dark. Too heavy.
well, it wasn't too dark.
Pasty?
wasn't lucid enough. Wasn't loose enough to flow.
No,
A major covering stain than a dye. Is that right?
no, it looked too much like plastic.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I turned it all off of it and did it again, thinned it and did it again.
Oh.
And here's another urn, and this one's got the same on it, and this time it doesn't look so much like plastic.
Is that box?
Nice.
I
This
like
is
that.
box elder.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
This
Yeah.
one I made, my wife wanted one for the part of the ashes that she got for her nephew who passed away a couple years ago, way too young.
Looks like a bunny rabbit there in front. Or a fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and,
beautiful.
and it's a little bigger around than it needed to be, but I was afraid looking at it because it's ingrained so I could see where the red was. I didn't want to make it any smaller because I was afraid of losing the color. So I made it a little bigger around than it needed to be.
Well, Dale, it's gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
agree.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What part comes off? The top where the knob part is, or?
Yep.
Okay. It's
And
pretty.
James is in there.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. My wife has
So-
asked me to glue the top on, and I just haven't done it yet.
Still sorry I asked the question.
Nice job.
Yeah,
Don't let it
I'm-
happen again, Al.
Beautiful.
That's real pretty. Yeah, I won't.
And I've got one downstairs on the lathe that I turned today and put this amazing clear coat on for a dog of mine that died probably 20 years ago. He's here now in a plastic container. And I put some gold eye candy powder in it because he was a golden retriever, and I'll have that one to show next week.
Right on.
And I think it's going to be real pretty too.
Sweet. All right. Is it anything else, Dale?
No, those three are it for this week. That was last week's
right.
projects.
That'll work. All right.
Uh,
Let's head up north and see what's happening in Wisconsin Rabbits, home of Level Up. Hey, Scott.
So I turned a cat. Last week or so.
I love to tell. I love to tell.
Kitty.
Yeah.
This is Siberian elm with a shellac finish. He's got bristle broom whiskers. And he's got this is a piece of green popple that I put into a jig and let it dry so it's dry bent.
Awesome.
Good idea.
That looks great. Good
Yeah,
technique.
cool.
That's really pretty. What'd you use
Where'd
for
you
the
get
eyes?
those eyes?
The
Yeah, what'd
eyes
you
are
use?
glass eyes I ordered off of Amazon. They're called Dragon Eyes.
That's cool.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
tell
would
makes
drive
all the
my
difference.
4 cats nuts.
Love the finish.
Shellac.
Yeah.
Yep. Very nice.
Most everything I do is covered in shellac.
Very nice, Scott. I like.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks for your help, Scott.
Good job, Scott. Thank you.
No problem,
pretty.
Brenda.
All right. Let's see. Staying with the theme here. Can you imagine? I even turned the cat.
Oh my.
Oh,
Iron on that thing.
wow. Beautiful.
Cute.
Oh, wow.
So
Good
this
to
has got
meet you.
my this has got my
That's
tongue well
cool.
finish on it, but I need to put 2 more coats on it. It's only got 4 on it at the moment.
Oh my God.
Do you give it any wooden shots?
No,
Wooden
this
shots.
guy when he came out of the woods, he was already good. So and so here's his little tail.
How'd you do
Uh,
that? Is that cutting and glued? Cut and glued?
Yeah, it's one
Uh-huh.
cylinder cone that I turned, and it's cut here and
Uh-huh.
cut here.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Very
Pretty.
nice.
It looks cool.
Pretty.
Put a
Yeah.
ball.
Now, do you use the
So-
same eyes? The dragon eyes?
as a matter of fact, I did.
There you go.
Sounds like you two have been collaborating.
So it's, me and Scott. So Scott started on his first, and then last Wednesday at the end of the meeting, we got to talking, and of course, the majority of y'all know the dilemma with my diabetic cat Henry that I lost in February after a long good fight, and so I've been racking my brain, something nice to make for my veterinarian. Because she was very invested in his quality of life and helping us through the situation. And so when Scott was showing off his cat, I'm like, that's a darn good idea right there. So,
Oh,
so I started working on it, and then, so and my wife was like, hey, you should get some, find some eyes that, look like cat eyes. And so we went on Amazon and found some eyes. And of course, I had to buy mine twice. And first set I got were 10 mil, and they were just, they were going to be little beady eyes for the size of this head. And so on Saturday, I turned around and bought 10 millimeter eyes, and they worked out perfect for the size here. So yeah, so the body is, and the head is from sassafras, and then the ears are mesquite, so just turned to cone, dyed it, applied iron acetate to the mesquite so I can get the the nice solid black all the way around, and I carved out, and then I cut it in half on the bandsaw, and then carved out the ears, and again the tail's a piece of mesquite, just a simple spindle turning, and
Great.
It's beautiful.
that's it.
She's
Hey,
done
That's
it.
me.
fantastic.
Thank you all.
Very
That was
nice.
my first
Dane.
one. I've never turned a character item before, so it was a lot of fun, and it generated a lot of ideas, and looking forward to doing some more. It was a fun project.
Cool.
Dane, that
Yes.
that tongue oil finish on there, how hard does that get?
Hard.
Yeah, I was in a Luthier's vlog today, and a subject came up. A guy wanted to finish a guitar with tongue oil, and there was a lot of chat going on about it. And with musical instruments, the harder the finish, the better. That's
Right.
why
Yeah,
why they
it's
use
definitely
lacquer
harder
most of the
than-
time.
Well, for my from my prior experience with lacquer, I believe tongue oil is, once it's layered on and fully cured, it's definitely harder than the run of the mill lacquers. I know there's automotive lacquers that are much harder, and I think that's what's, it's that type of lacquer that you use on.
Yeah,
on the
somebody
music.
made the comment that it has to be hard enough to chip, and then it would be good for a musical instrument.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I would agree.
Dane, do you have a container of the tongue oil finish you use handy that you could show us which one you're
Yeah.
using?
Yeah, it's
thank you.
it's the Menwax. It's the polymerizing. It's either Watco or Menwax is what I use. I used to use used to be Menwax my number one choice, and then Fornsby, but Fornsby don't make it anymore. They went out of business, I believe.
Oh, Minwax, yeah.
Yeah, it's just Menwax oil, and it's more varnish than anything. There's more of everything else in it than there is tongue oil.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
mentioned gunstock, like true finish, gunstock finish. And
Yeah,
I've used that on gunstocks, but I never put it on a musical instrument.
right.
Well, your issue with an oil like the gunstock oil is it's like a true oil. Okay, it's the difference between that and what Dane's using is the significant quantities of varnish in the finish that Dane's using,
Right.
and it hardens just like he says.
Builds.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah, it builds. It allows you to build up that depth of finish.
So the oil, the polymerized tongue oil, is it food safe after it cures or not?
Well, it just depends on how much you eat. So in layman's terms, it's no more dangerous than the Teflon eating utensils or cooking utensils you use, or the Teflon in your frying pan that comes off into your scrambled eggs. And you're going to get more Teflon in your food than you are eating out of something that's finished in tongue oil. If you're using a utilitarian vessel and you're finishing it in tongue oil, you don't need to build up that big layer, because if you're using utensils in there, you're gonna be making scores into it, and it's going to be readily available to chip off. Is it really going to hurt you? Probably not, but at the same time, you wouldn't want to be eating it either.
Gotcha.
All right.
Dane, mention what your wife said about your cat. What else we should use them for?
Oh, yes. So my wife thought, and well, she said a great suggestion for you to start doing is to hollow out from the bottom and turn that into an urn.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. She said use the cat as an urn. And then when I was telling Scott about it, and Scott was going, yeah, hollow through the bottom, plug it at the bottom, have your screw cap on there, use some of the Niles rings from Mr. Jacobson, and it would make a perfect urn for your animal, or if you're into selling urns to the pet clinics, be a good idea. So that's and I make a lot of small urns for that purpose. So it's definitely going to be several projects in the coming future. So I thought that was a really great idea. My wife helped me a lot on it. It was a lot of fun. Her working with me on it.
Sweet.
Dane, is the head, excuse me, is the head one piece or is it's oval? How did you turn the head?
I turned it between centers.
Okay.
It's all one piece. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
just between centers. You know, the body and the head, everything was skew work.
Okay.
Yep. Good question though, Jim. All right, let's do one more and then we'll get our safety moment on and then we will get on with our demonstration. All right, Al, we got you.
Oh, me? Oh. Oh. Hey, Carl, I want to let you know I ran into the house. I said, Denise, you ain't gonna believe it. I just said hi to Carl Jacobson. She goes, okay, good. Sorry. Of all nights, I'm going to show the most ridiculous thing I've ever made. And here last night, it even fell off the lathe. And it's a mess. It's my well, first of all, it's live edge 3-tier bowl.
There you go.
Don't laugh. Of all people, it's got to be Carl Jacobs tonight, and this is my show. It broke here, cracked over here. The idea on YouTube was a lot nicer than this one, but it's a bowl. It's a bowl, and it's a bowl. So it's a 3-tier live edge bowl.
That's cool.
Nice.
Good idea, Al.
How did you carve out that middle one?
Sideways, just turn one way, turn the other way, turn it around, get the other side again, going in this way. Yes, turn around, going this way, and cracks, and it's a piece of peach, and I probably shouldn't have used it either. But anyway, that's what I got. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Everybody have a good night. Everybody be good.
Interesting.
Right. Thank you, Al.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's tune up Safety Sue here. We'll get our safety moment on. We got you now, Sue.
Hi, guys. Well, before I do my safety moment, I actually got on the lathe this week.
All right.
My granddaughter wants to be an astrophysicist and work for NASA. She's in her freshman year of college. So this is a roller ball.
Wait.
And
Nice.
the pen blank is from Beartooth Woods, and the pen kit is from Turnings with a Z. And my granddaughter likes blacks and blues, so that's why she got the gunmetal one. But yeah, it came out nice.
Very cool.
Okay, let's go back to safety. We're going to talk about PPE, personal protection equipment. If I could say it, we could talk about it. And that includes your first line of defense for your eyes is safety glasses. If you have to have a prescription, get safety glasses that will go over your glasses, or get safety glasses that is your prescription. The next line of defense is your face mask. guys, you know, I've had stuff, if it hadn't hit the up here, I probably would have a knot there. So yeah, we've all had something explode. Underneath that safety mask, I look like a zombie by the time I'm fitted out. I've got my safety glasses, I've got my safety mask, and I have earplugs in because everything's connected to my dust system. So yeah, I mean, but that's what I do. And I want to come back out of there without any injuries. So where, in addition to the PPE, make sure you're wearing closed-toed shoes. You do not want to drop an instrument like any kind of gouge or negative rake scraper or whatever you're using. You don't want that to go into your foot. Matt Harbor says askew. Well, I was going to say that, Matt, but the word escaped me. So anyways, I just want to make you aware of what's around you. Please be protected around your head. And Billy Burke just says, especially the skew. And I agree, Billy. So take care, you guys. Be safe this week, and I'd love to see you next week. Take care.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sue.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
With that, we are going to get to our feature demonstration tonight. We have Mr. Carl Jacobson in the house. Typical housekeeping, as with any other demonstration, Carl's going to be demonstrating tonight. It is going to be his demo. He will turn things the way he likes to turn with his processes in his shop. So we will keep all questions and comments till the end of the demonstration. I will be keeping an eye on any questions that may pop up in the chat, you know, unless during the demo, Carl sequesters participation from the gallery. Otherwise, typical protocol. Please keep your microphones muted. I will be muting everybody, so Carl, you will have to unmute yourself.
And
so
the crowd goes wild.
Yes, and I will be muting everybody right now. Unmute yourself, and I got you.
There we go. All right.
Loud and
All
clear.
right. Perfect. Okay. All good. All right. So, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me on. We got a new puppy about a year or so ago, and so we're taking it to training classes, and it's on Wednesday nights, and that's why I popped on a while ago and was watching one of the demonstrators, but that's why I can't be on all the time. Is here, that's my arm. She's an American Terrier Pit Bull, and she is a maniac. So classes every Wednesday night to calm her down. But thank you guys so much for having me. We are going to turn this little lady right here tonight. We're going to get just about all of it done. So I'm going to turn the body, the head, and the neck, and the hat, and the umbrella, and so we're gonna work on that. I did a video about 4 years ago making that. So I was in fact, I went back and watched it today because I wasn't quite sure how I did the umbrella, so I had to go do a refresher course on it. But we're going to do that, and then I have to get this back in the house. Robin will kill me if I break it.
Right.
So, all right. I'm just going to set it down over there so it doesn't get hurt. Yeah, we'll go through the whole process. So whenever I do like a piece like that where there's a bunch of little pieces that go together, I always start with the main piece. So I'm going to start with the body first, and then size everything off of that is kind of how I do it when I do any, like I did the Millennium Falcon, I did the main body first and then sized everything around that piece. So it's the same thing with this. So we'll go ahead and get this on the lathe. I'll switch cameras over here real quick. One thing, Dane, so so I know you guys are still there because once I start
Yes.
turning, I can just hear you. If anybody does have any questions, I don't have a problem at all. Just you can
Okay.
ask me. I'll answer them while I'm turning.
Okay.
We do lives on YouTube, and Robin is talking to me the whole time I'm turning, so I'm perfectly comfortable with it. So it's
Okay.
all good. Yeah.
That'll work.
All right. All right. So I have a piece of, I'm not sure what it is. I just got it at the show last night, and hang on one sec. Let me grab the tape measure so I can tell you what size it is. So, and like with this, it really, I'll get that. With this, it all depends on, what size you want to make it. It doesn't have to be this size, but it's about 8 inches and 2 inches around. And this is about the size of the one I turned before. So we'll go ahead and get it put in between centers. And with this, we need to drill a little teeny hole with a Forstner bit in the top of it, not a little teeny hole. We need to drill a hole in the top of it. So I need to put a little tenon on it. And so we're going to put a tenon down on one end so we can grab it in the chuck after we get it shaped. All right. Get this all set up. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It might be myrtle wood. It looks a lot like myrtle wood. All right. And Sue, with her safety segment, it could not be more right. I had many things fly off the lathe. So
Indeed.
yeah, so definitely put that on. All right. So I'm gonna start shaping this, and what we're gonna do is I'm going to make this part the top of it. So I'll put the tenon down here, and it's already really pretty true. So just gonna go ahead and put a tenon down there first and then start shaping it. So I'm gonna turn the lathe speed up about 2,500 RPMs. And this is easy rougher. Just make it tenon just like that. You can get it all squared up. And then we will make the bottom part of the dress right here. And this is the spindle gouge. Well, this part right here is the legs. We want to bring that down quite a bit. Camera's all good. All right, and then this is going to be the hips, and then we'll go in and come back out. And I'll get this all cleaned up a little bit too. So we are going to cut this at an angle when we're done too. That you're going to drill into it with a Forstner bit, and then cut it off at an angle so that it looks like a neckline.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just kind of giving it the basic shape, and then I'll start refining it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And I know forgot to mention too, that the microphone is a little bit too good. The noise canceling on it, so you can't hear me turning, which is a little awkward sometimes.
Oh, we're all used to it. For the most part, we all used to the noise cancellation.
Yeah. Move this over. Bring the legs down. Right there. That. Bring this down. There's still a little flat spot right there. I can feel it. Right there. So I need to bring that down a little bit.
We got compliments on your drive center, Carl.
Oh. Yeah, it works nice. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the chuck now, and we'll go ahead and then we'll sand it. We'll get it all trued up and get it sanded and then drill that hole. Change jaws here real quick. All right. I'll put red in there. And I'll bring the tailstock back up. So I always kind of just bring it back up to line everything up. And then before I tighten those down, and it helps get everything running true again. There we go. Ooh, went in a little bit too far. There it goes. All right. And we don't really need to turn it anymore. Just sand it. All right. So sanding process is I run through just a couple of grits, dry, turn the lathe speed down. I run through just like 1 or 2 grits dry, and then I sand with oil. And I like a satin look, and it kind of, so I've always just kind of stuck with that. I mean, every once in a while I do glossy, but I like the satin look of it. And even like on the lady I just showed you, it's just finished with the oil. All right, we'll do one more and then I'll do the oil. So the oil I use is walnut oil. And so all that, normally I have the dust collector going and everything, but for those first two grits. But then after that, I switch to walnut oil and I sand with that. I run through the rest of the grits. I have the lathe speed down. It's about 300, 250, 300. And I just, let me switch cameras for you here real quick. So you can get a little better view maybe. Hang on, I have to take it off of there. There.
No worries.
There we go. All right. Yeah, then I can switch it back to. So I just take the sandpaper, hold it underneath it, and put the oil on, just like that.
Is that a
And so what it-
Abernathy sandpaper?
Yeah, yep, Abernet sandpaper. So all the dust is captured in that, and it all goes right through the sandpaper, so it doesn't clog it up. So it's catching all that fine dust and putting the finish on at the same time. And that is why I really, really like it. It eliminates all that dust. So I just go through the grits. Just gonna do that real quick and wipe it off in between each grit just to make sure there's like no little grit came off or anything, but I doubt there is. But it really brings out the color in the wood too. It just, you can see all the grain,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it is myrtle. It's myrtle
Yeah.
wood. So, and I like that look right there. So it's kind of what I've stuck with. But I'll run through the rest of them here. So same process. Just keep working your way up.
Yeah, hard to
And
beat
then-
wet sand.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, wet sanding is fantastic, and so it really saves the sandpaper too, because I'm just turning around, setting it right behind me, and I'll use that stack for the whole project as I'm going. It's saving sandpaper, but paper towels, it goes through those like crazy. If you're gonna wet sand though, make sure you turn the lathe down because it will shoot it all over the ceiling. I don't have a camera that can show you that, but yeah, there was a stripe. Every once in a while you forget or something, the lathe's up too high and there's a stripe across the ceiling. There we go. And then we'll just finish up with 600. Yeah, when I first started doing it years ago, I was mixing up like mineral oil and paste wax to make like a wet sand with that. And it kind of gummed the sandpaper up. And then I switched to Howard's beeswax and mineral oil that you get at like Home Depot, which works really well, but it's a little gummy too. And then I found the walnut oil and it works fantastic. There we go. And that's all the way up to 600. And it really just, it's a nice satin finish. You do need a, you know, every 6 months or so, we wipe down all the stuff in the house with it again, and it brings it right back to just a beautiful color.
Better than pledge.
Yeah. All right. We're on that camera. Let me go over here real quick. All right. So I'm going to pull the tailstock away, and we're going to drill down into that with the Forstner bit.
What size Forstner bit you going to use?
So I will measure it here real quick once I get there, and it just kind of depends on how big you want to make this thing. It's
Right.
going to depend on what size Forstner bit you're using. So it all kind of just changes on every project. All right, so let's pull the Forstner bit up there. That one's way too big. And we will, I'll measure it once I find one. That one should work. Maybe a little too big. Hang on. See, this is why I like having Robin talk to me while I'm turning. I spend a lot of time looking for stuff.
Yeah. It's right where you laid it the last time you used it.
Right? All right. All right, there we go. Now we're good. We already have that center hole that's there from the live center. So I'm just going to drill down into this just a little ways, and then we'll cut this off at an angle. Lay speed is still down, nice and slow. And come over here for a second, give you a better view.
There we go.
So when you're doing this on something like this, make sure you go down far enough, because you're going to cut it at an angle and you want it to be still have the hole there.
I'm not quite sure what you're going to use this for, but is it better to have a smaller hole or a larger hole?
So hang on one sec. This is going to be the neck. So let me grab this one. So you can make it kind of any size you want, but that's what it's gonna, can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn the base. It's going to go inside of there, and then I'll cut the neck out. So.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. All right. Now I'm going to put that live center back in there real quick to just kind of stabilize it a little bit while I start cutting it. And this here, I just kind of eyeballed it on the other one, so we'll eyeball it on this one. A little bit of an angle, like so. Yeah, and if I don't switch the camera back, let me know too.
Oh, sorry, I was doing a text here on someone else's question.
Oh, it's all good. All right, I think we should be good.
Somebody needed the Zoom link to get in.
Oh. All right. There we go.
About
So
what angle?
I,
About what angle is that?
I want to say like 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of, just give it a little bit of an angle. Like here, I'll grab this one again. And oh, we're on that camera. So about like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much.
Not much. So that's what I was saying too was, there we go. So you want to make sure whatever angle it is that you're going to cut, you still need that hole to be a little bit deeper than this side of it. So make sure you go in far enough on that. All right. Now we are going to take this back out of the chuck. Take this off. We're going to put this live center, spur center in there. So we got room to work. And then we'll put the spur center in the other end. You have that little hole from the Forstner bit. And everything should line right back up.
Yeah, every now and then
Go.
that point, that hole that's left from the Forstner bit can be useful every now and then.
Yeah.
And then for the Forstner bit, what size was the hole you drilled?
Oh, hang on one sec. It was, let's see here, 1.25 inches. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. And you could go a little smaller on that too. Because I think this one's a little bigger than the other one I did. So. And a plus for using the walnut oil is your hands are really soft.
There's a joke in there, but got to keep it clean.
All right. So, got it all back in between centers. Grab a face shield. I'll go ahead and so this is the bottom. And just cup it out just a little bit.
Hey, Carl, what size was the Forstner bit you used?
Inch and a quarter, Matt.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, this is just a parting tool. I'm just coming in a little bit of an angle to cup out the bottom so it sits nice and flat. Snap that off. No, I just brought it down. Little nub there, and we'll sand that up. So to sand this up, I use the little sanding pad, and it goes right on to headstock. And we'll just use this one. All right. That out of the way. All right. Lay speed back down. So you can just stay right with that angle. And this is 120 grit. So it will clean it up really fast. The Abranet too, I started using it quite a while ago, but it's really nice sandpaper, and you see how it kind of clogged up there, but you just pull it off, give it a couple of flicks, and put it right back on. So it really is much nicer. Like first started turning or using paper, and it didn't last very long, especially trying to wet sand it. Now I'm just cleaning up that little nub there.
Yeah, I've never made the change to Abernet. May have to get me some and start trying it out.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice sandpaper, and especially if you do any kind of wet sanding, or like
Right, I
whenever I
do a lot
do,
of wet sanding. Yeah,
yeah, with resin, and yeah, especially like with resin, the water, all the dust just goes right through it. So that's
right.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I was using cloth back for a while. I kind of have gone through just about all of them, I think. There we go. Got all that cleaned up. All right. Now we have that done. We can go ahead and make the neck and the head. So we're going to size the neck to go right down inside of there. And that way it'll all just slide right in there. Now, set this aside. We're going to do the neck and head out of that piece. And so put this back in here. Find center on these things, the ends of it. There we go. And I don't know if I'm being asking anything, but I have no idea where I got this. I've had it for 25 years and I haven't seen another one. I don't know where it came from. Sorry.
Seems like something that somebody can whip up on a 3D printer.
Yeah. All right. Just use our calipers to size that up. And grab
We're making the neck. We're making the neck now.
Yeah, we're going to make the neck and the head now.
Okay.
So we're going to use the calipers to make it that 1.25 inches for that. And for that, use the square carbide. Let's bring it down a little bit before I get started. With the calipers. Now we can use the calipers on it. So the other thing with this is I always, anytime I use the calipers on anything, which is a lot, I always put them in there, bring them out to the edge, and then I pull it out and I give it like a quarter of a turn on this to make it a little bit bigger. Then that way, if I screw up, get carried away, this is a little bit bigger than what I actually need. So I always just kind of just give it a little bit of a crank and then work my way down from there.
Good advice.
There we go. And then I will bring the piece up and start test fitting it from there. All right. So that is going to be, that part right there is going to go inside the thing. We're going to, right after that, we're going to go ahead and bring this down and start making the neck. So when you're doing this part right here, that little part, okay, that little part right there, that's all the thicker you want that right there, because you don't want it to be flat and come up, stand way up. You want it to just go in and then start making that transition so it looks nice and smooth. So then don't take too much off of that. Save that because that's the head. I'm going to pull it out here real quick and just see where we're at.
It's the beauty of turning between centers.
Yeah, I got just a little bit more to go.
Always find it more accurate doing it like what you're doing there as opposed to using the calipers to test the fit.
Yeah, I always just stop and fit it. Anytime lidded box or anything, I stop and check it 10 times to make sure it's right.
Yeah, amen.
Still, I think that's the part we edit out of the videos, stopping and starting. So on that one, it was really close. So I just kind of angled it a little bit like that. I angled it like that. And then we can make sure that it goes down in there. It's almost there. And then you can straighten it out if you need to. A little bit more. There you go. And then when when it does pop down in there, you'll be able to see that little flat spot, what you need to take off. So I need to, it goes in there, but I think I need to take off a little bit more. And so I know that that's too thick. So we're going to come in here and just from feeling that little lip in there, it needs to be pretty small. There we go. So it drops down just under that. All right. Now we can start working on the head. We have that done. And you're going to sand it a little bit too. So it's all good. Take off a bunch of this. Head's way too big. You can do this in two pieces too. I think that one I did the video on, I actually did it in two pieces, or you can do it in one. It's just kind of up to you. You can always just drill a hole in the bottom of the head and stick it up in there. And then that way you can kind of turn the head whichever way you wanted to, if you want to tip it.
Oh, that's a good idea. You could almost make a ball joint with it. That way you can rotate the head.
Yeah.
You do it
Yeah.
apart. Yeah. Ball and socket.
So, and then with the top of the head too, it's going to get covered up with a hat. So you don't really need to worry that much about getting it too clean. I think I just, on the other one, I just brought it down like this and then just parted it off with a parting tool because it's all going to be covered. You're gluing the hat to it. So you just make sure that most of it's done. Bring this down a little bit. And with stuff like this, it just kind of, I always just turn it, look at it, because it's all about proportion. So it's constantly just kind of, is the head too big? Is the neck not small enough? I mean, just so you're just kind of constantly going back and forth and just kind of making sure it looks right.
Yeah, so it's a good idea, even to stop and pull it off and hold it up and look at it like you're looking at a face to look for those dimensions. Good idea.
Yeah, yeah. When I first started turning, I love turning lidded boxes. I would do that all day long if I could, and I still love doing it. But I would turn a box, and you're looking at it on the lathe like this, and it looks great, and it's
Yep.
beautiful wood. It's amazing, and when you get it all done, you take it off and you set it on the counter. It didn't look right. So
Right.
that was one of the things. It's looking at it this way is not the same way as looking at it, standing,
Yeah,
looking straight on.
funny
So
how
it's kind of,
it's funny how the turning gets bigger when you take it off the lathe and set it down.
yeah, yep. All right, we'll run through a couple of grits dry. I'm just going to stay away from that tenon. It fit in there really nice.
Now, Carl, if you wanted to put the hat on there on a bit of an angle, would you just chop the top of the head off on an angle like you did with the body?
No, you're gonna cup the hat out. So,
Oh, okay.
and so
It'll fit any way you want.
yeah, yeah, there we go. So that one it's at an angle, it's tipped down this way. So you can move it any way you want on there and I just
Got
put
it.
some glue on it, tipped it down. Yep.
Good question, Rob.
Yeah. All right, I like to hum and sing too when I'm turning, so every once in a while I catch myself.
No, we won't hold it against you. We won't tell anybody either.
Except for the recording, right?
Yeah, except for perpetuity on YouTube.
It's time for Gilligan's Island, Carl.
I know, right? It's the only song I know all the words to. So you can kind of tell what my childhood was like. I watched a lot of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that resemble that.
I grew up on Gilligan's Island and Charlie's Angels.
Oh yes. And Kojak.
All right. So do the oil. I'm just gonna kind of be a little careful this time, not to get it on the other side of that. Because I am gonna put a little bit of glue on there. And I think on the other one I did, I think I waited till the very end to oil it, but we'll just do it this way. And the walnut oil does dry, so yeah, I'm not sure what wood this is. That does not look like myrtle wood though. But yeah, the walnut oil does dry, so you could, wait a couple of days and glue it together then. Finish it off here. $600. And we'll just bring that little top of the head there. And you could kind of, because the hat is going to cover up, it's not going to cover up a lot of it, but you can come in with the parting tool about right there because you're going to cup it out. But depending on how you tip the hat too, you might want to save as much as you can, because if you tipped it too much, you would see on some
Oh, okay.
part of
Hey
it,
Carl,
so.
on your walnut oil, is that Doctor's
Yeah.
or Mahoney's?
This is Doctor's. Mike lives
Doctor's.
he lives about 20 minutes from us, so I just drive over to his house and pick it up.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that's what it was. I was just answering a question. So thank you.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Do parting tool. All right. Lay speed back up. Just bring this down right here. So just cut that off with that little pole saw. I think I've had that pole or little saw for same length of time I've had that center finder. I got this at Harbor Freight and it's still working. Great. All right. There we go. So yeah, just a little dime size is what's left with it. And then this will pop it right in there like so. And then that hat will come down right in there. And I think on this, I just hit it with the 100 grit, but I ran through all the grits by hand to clean that up on the other one. All right, now what are we making next? Let's make the hat. All right. So we got, there we go. That's a piece for the hat. Find center on it again. And so with this too, just keep holding the head up there so you can get, so it looks proportionate. And this is maple. I know what maple looks like. It's my favorite wood.
Like it's got
It's
some
got
nice quilts in it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's one thing. We have maple and maple burl endless supply up here. So it's just love it.
Horrible
All right.
problem to have. I wish I had that.
I know. I get most of my wood off of Facebook Marketplace. So Robin has it set up on her phone. So anytime somebody posts free wood, it pops up on her phone. So we heat
Nice.
the house with firewood. We just go get free rounds. Somebody's just trying to get rid of them. But a lot of the times you go there and people don't know what to do with this giant maple burl that nobody wants it. And
Wow.
so we haul those home too.
Nice.
Yeah, cherry, maple. So it's definitely nice to have. I'm just putting a tenon down on it so that I can grab it and chop. That way we can cup out the inside of it. Yeah, one of my sons lives in Florida, in Jacksonville, and he said you would not believe the amount of money they get for wood back here. I go, maybe I should just start shipping you wood, sell it on the street corner. Same thing. Get this in the chuck. All right. Now we can have our little hat handy so that we can figure out what size to make it. All right. Crank the lathe speed back up. It's still, I've just been doing all the turning about 2,500 RPMs. Now that is a little too big, a little bit. Bring it down a little bit more. About right there. A little bit. A little bit more. That's good. We'll come around the front here. Don't need that for a while. We'll bring this one over. So I just kind of cupped it out, just like making a bowl or a platter. Just kind of cupped it out, and then when I get to the center there, then I'll go in and cup it out for the actual head, and then just shaped over the top of it like that. Use one of these, and I'll switch cameras here real quick. And this is
Using
a
negative rake.
yeah, it's a D-Way Boxmaster tool. He's another guy that lives up near Seattle, out on one of the islands by us. There, really nice tools. He has a set just for doing lidded boxes, and they're all like double-ended. I am going to make a little recess in here too, so that we can use a jam chuck to put this back on and finish off the top of it here in a second. I'm just kind of cupping it out to the brim so that it comes down over the face a little bit. And then it's nice at this point too, you can just bring the head up and just keep testing it to make sure you have that the right size. Need to go in a little bit further. And even at this point, if you did want to bring the diameter down a little bit, you can always go back and, bring that down a little bit if you feel it's too big. So that will, you can always too. So like what I was talking about, not coming down here too far, you can tip it around in there and make sure that you're, depending on how you want to tip it. I probably want to tip it, just about that much, and it's not showing the flat spot or anything. So it gives me lots of room to work with. All right, and then going to just come straight in on this so that I can make a jam chuck that will fit on that.
What is that tool you're using, Carl?
This one here is another one of the Box Masters. It's just one of their sets. So this is for like doing the sides of lidded boxes, doing a flat bottom on it. So if you want a nice flat surface going across the bottom of your lidded box, that works fantastic for that. And they're all negative rake. They're here, I'll show you. There's
From
all
D-Way, right?
sorts. Yeah, D-Way makes them. They're all different
yeah.
shapes, all different
Thank
angles,
you.
all double-ended. Yep. All right. Now we have a nice little recess there that we can use to finish off the top once we get it off of here. And I'll switch back. That one. Nope, wrong one. That one. All right. Now I'm just going to shape the top of it just a little bit, and then we'll part it off. We're going to use this little leftover piece right here for the jam chuck part too. Rounding that over. And before we part it off, we'll go ahead and sand the inside of the hat. Ooh. Everybody awake?
Oh, we're all doing good. Everybody's glued to the screen, Carl.
I'm awake now. That catch
You're
scared me
awake
to
now?
death.
Good. I'm
Me
not the only
too.
one that does that.
Oh,
We always
all of
got to
us,
have,
all-
we always have one, most of us do several in our demos.
Oh, no
oh,
joke.
yeah.
I coined
Happens
a
to
I coined a
everybody.
term for that, Carl. It's called demoitis.
There you go. There,
We've all
I'll
kind of
bring that
adopted
down.
it.
Right?
I thought it was Billy-itis.
I like to save them for the demos.
Right, right. Like, did you see that? Did you see it? Were you paying attention?
Yeah.
I know I do. I've done things in demos that I've never done just turning.
Right? It keeps everybody awake too.
Indeed, indeed.
You're really part of the club now, Carl, because you've had 2 mistakes. You dropped the tape measure and you had a catch.
I'm an honorary member. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just standing this for not so I don't want to get oil on the inside of this. Yeah, I was trying to think all the things I had a catch just a couple months ago at a live demo too. That woke everybody up.
Yeah.
Somebody
right,
asked me
I'm gonna
once,
part-
why'd you do that? And I said, why are you asking me?
Oh. All right, get this parted off. No, round over the top of that. I always try and like anytime I have a catch or drop something, I always like leave it in the videos because I never wanted, I mean, I've been turning a long time. I still do it. So I don't want anybody ever thinking that I come out here and it's magic or something. It's not.
Right.
And
a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, I just, we had that bowl fly off and hit me in the face shield I know it's been a few years ago now, but
Yeah,
the
it's
first
been a
thing
few
we did
years.
was, yeah, first thing we did was upload it straight to YouTube and go, this stuff happens. So,
Yeah,
It's
they've all
good for
done
Right.
new
it too.
turners to, it's good for new turners to see that, you know, even folks that's been turning for a long time, at a high level, see that, you know, the same fallacies that the new turner is coming up against is also the same thing that, you know, those of us that's been turning for a long time, we have it happen to us as well. We're not
yeah,
immune.
yeah, right. Absolutely. All right. So I just took the calipers, got them sized for that. So this is just going to be a little jam chuck, and just go ahead and let that go in there. There we go. Nub cleaned off of there. All right. So same thing with that. I made that a little teeny too big so that I can just keep coming back and just taking little bits off because it needs to be on there tight. Close, but not quite. I don't want to. Force it on there too much. All right. So, and a little tip with this too. So it's on there, and I could probably maybe push it, but if you turn the lathe on and just kind of tap on it, it will true itself up.
Oh,
So just kind of, like that, and it will hit the right spot.
that's a tip and trick to clip out.
Yeah, Richard Raffin does that too.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
seen that
it's
before.
all right. I'm gonna go back to these tools here, and then we're gonna shape this over. A little bit low. It's actually a little bit big too, so. And as far as hat shape too, that's like totally up to you. Just gotta, what you think looks nice. I think on the other one, I took and put a little line there to kind of define between the rim of it and then the top. Something like that. Then that way it kind of,
Oh, okay.
Looks like a headband.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, you could even do that, do a headband, just color it or, you know,
Burning, yeah.
burn it. Yeah. All good. All right. Lay speed back down. Just gonna round this over. Lip there. The brim. Then we can just oil this part.
If you textured it, it'd make it look like a straw hat.
Yeah.
Good.
Right?
You could even pierce it, Ron.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Go through the oily ones. So like when I'm doing those, same thing with that. I put the coarser grit on the bottom and I just keep flipping them over. That way when you come back to it, you just flip them over and they're all lined up and ready to go for the next. And this is all that same sandpaper I started with on the body.
There's some really good longevity to the Avernet paper, I take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me some.
Unless you're power sanding with it, it doesn't like that very well. Don't ask me how I know.
Fortunately, I don't power sand. But yeah, good.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you go through it a lot faster, power sanding.
I power sand because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
There we go. Put that back away. Try and get this off of here without breaking it. There we go. So that way, this is all still bare wood and we can use that to glue on a little hat on that one. And then you can put this wherever you want.
Then you can tip it right on.
Yeah, and I just put a little bit of glue on the inside of it and then just stick it on there. Let it set. Yeah. Yeah. And, tip it down off to one side.
Nice. Just like a Southern Belle in Georgia.
Yeah. All right.
Or a lady at a polo match.
All right, let's do the umbrella now. Now we're going to do the umbrella. This already has a tenon on it, but I'm just going to not use the tenon. We'll just get rid of it. How's that? That'll work. So with the umbrella, kind of the same process as the hat, just cupping it out, you just cup it out a little bit more, but you don't put that little recess in there. We're actually going to use the coal jaws here for those. All right, let me go ahead and get this off of here. So the only part of what I'm going to do tonight is that I can't do on the lathe is the rim of the umbrella, but I'll show you or explain to you how I do it.
Okay.
And I do have a little tool that I can kind of show you too.
You're talking about the scallops, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do those with the oscillating sander. So I just put one of the smaller ones on there and it works fantastic. So with this too, it's an umbrella, so cup it out so that it really looks like it, and drill a hole down in it in just a sec.
Nothing like making shavings.
Yeah, right? It's good times.
Sure is. Sharp tools and technique.
All right, let me true that up a little bit. I think I got a little flat spot on it somewhere. All right. Its edge is pretty sharp on that. We don't want that. Flatten it off a little bit. Give it a little bit of an edge. I'm gonna go down just a little bit more.
If you have the edge too sharp, too thin, it makes it prone to break, right?
Yeah, it would yeah, you don't want to make it too thin. Yeah, because the oscillating sander is not gentle. I think that's good. All right, now I'm gonna put the Jacob's chuck back on real quick. We're gonna drill a little hole down in it for the umbrella stick. And which camera are we on? This one? All right.
Yes.
Here's what I use for the umbrella stick. They're those big bamboo skewers. So that is what I used for her. See a little point up there? they're perfect for
Oh,
little
okay.
things like this. Basically, just we're gonna drill a little hole in it for that. But yeah, and you can oil them, give it a nice little color. Yeah, for projects like this, I use these things all the time to like connect two pieces together. They're just cheap. You can buy smaller ones too, but the big ones are for stuff like this. It's perfect.
Yeah, I buy them in big packages. I use them all the time too.
Yeah,
Me
yeah, they
too.
work
I use
great.
them for sea urchin ornaments and all kinds of stuff.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Toothpick construction.
there you
Display.
go. All right, just gonna drill down in here. Turn blade speed down. So what I do with drilling in, I'll talk about that for a second. So I've been doing a lot of drilling lately, just with the projects I've been doing. So I've been doing like a lot of bottle stoppers and things like that for Niles. And what I noticed is even with a drill bits, they want to wander. They want to grab the grain and go in whatever direction is easiest. So what I do, even with the Forstner bit, is that the little thing we did already had a center hole in it, but I turn the lay speed up to whatever it is I'm turning at, 2500, and I stick just the point in, just barely a little bit with the Forstner bit, same thing. I put that little point in there at 2500 RPMs. And what it does is it's spinning so fast, it just forces it right in the center and makes more of a center hole. Because even with the Forstner bit, if you were to just jab this up there, bring your tailstock up, ram it into the piece, wherever it hit is where it's going to be center. And even a Forstner bit will wander. You'll be able to see it, moving a little bit. So I turn the lay speed up, just put just the tip of these things in, let it kind of burn itself into center for a second. Then I turn the lathe speed down and start drilling down to 250, 300, and then start drilling. I've been doing that with all the drilling that I've been doing, and it helps the drill bit from doing that wandering thing. And it's not critical on this. It doesn't really matter if the hole's exactly center. But with some things, if you're trying to drill a 7/16 hole and your drill bit is wandering, it's now making a hole bigger than 7/16. So you're never going to get what if you're trying to do something with 7/16 and that drill bit is going like this, it's making a bigger hole. So if just turn the lathe speed up, get it centered, and then slow it down and start drilling. You don't want to drill at that high speed, but to get it centered up. And I do that with the Forstner bits too.
Good tip.
All right, let's shape most of the outs actually. Let's go ahead and sand this real quick.
Hey, Carl, before you
And with
start sanding, we have a
Yeah.
question on your D-Way tools, as in
Yeah.
how you get them so sharp.
Let me move the camera here real quick. Let me bring you over to the messy side of the shop. Do not let so everything you see on YouTube is this 6-foot square where I turn. Don't look beyond that, okay?
No
Yeah, I'll show
worries,
you.
no worries.
I'll show you the oscillating sander over there too that I'm going to use here in a second. All right. So the D-Way tools, they're right here. So you just grind the underside of them for the negative rake, and this little guide goes right up there, and you just line it up with that wherever the platform is. I just got one of these little platforms. I was just using my metal platform, but this wooden one just makes it easier to come around the sides and stuff, but it sticks right to it. So you just set the tool right down like that, bring it up here and just sharpen it just like that. And it takes and grinds that bottom edge right there just
Yep.
perfectly.
Nice.
And that's all you have to do. It puts the burr and everything on it. So when you're turning, you come over here, just one pass on it, right back to turning. That's it. So
Sweet.
yeah, and they're all those, that box set is all like that. Oh, and there is the, I'm going to use that on the oscillating sander to make
Okay.
those little
Yes.
scallops.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Carl, where did you get that little gauge you used to set your table with?
The wooden part.
Yeah, where did you get the little angle finder that you just set the table to the correct angle?
A D-Way. When we were at the show, I bought this little piece of plywood. I think it was $9, and the gauge was in it. So you just, and so the instructions said to drill holes in the platform and then screw it to it. But I don't like instructions, so I use double-sided tape, and
There you go.
I just put down double-sided tape, a couple strips of it, and stuck it right to it, and it is working fantastic. So
Perfect.
not a big fan of instructions. Should be the first thing
A lot of
thrown
us.
away on
If
anything,
all else
right?
fails, read the instructions.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sells them on the website too, and they're all set up. And
Okay.
it comes with the gauge. I don't know what else it came with. Maybe the screws to screw it down, but I don't need those
Right.
anymore.
All the ladies are saying typical man.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for the ladies in this group because they act like us.
Yeah, basically.
Why would you want to read the instructions? That's a waste of time.
It takes all the fun out of it.
Right.
Right. And on this one, I'm just going to dry sand it because I have to use the other sander and it will gum up the oscillating sander. So I'll put the oil on later. Yeah, and so like with pieces like this where it's a bunch of stuff glued together, normally I will just wait and put the oil on at the very end. Because a lot of times I'm not sure where certain things are going, like the arms on this and stuff like that. So I just waited till the end, got it all glued together, and then oiled it. And the nice thing too about like that walnut oil is you can just pour it over the top of something and it will soak into the wood and dry. So it really doesn't matter. It's, and it's not going to leave an uneven finish or anything. So now we're just going to go around the outside a little bit here. And turn the lathe speed back up. And you can just check your wall thickness as you're going down. Just kind of gauge it. Then we're going to use the coal jaws to finish off that. That was the part I had to look up on YouTube to remember how I did it. I was thinking about the demo and I thought, well, how did I do the top of the umbrella? Because there's no spot to reconnect it. The trusty coal jaws. There we go, and then we'll come in with the parting tool again. Go ahead and cut it off. All right. And we'll put the coal jaws on, finish off the top. And there we have that little hole there for the skewer to go through.
Nice.
Coal jaws. All right. Little guys on there. And then move the little bits and bobs around. So, oh, okay. Is that going to even work? I think it's too small. Huh. How we doing? I think the umbrella's a lot smaller than the other one. It is. All right,
Change on the
that's not gonna work.
Maybe chuck jaws or something.
Jam chuck.
Jam chuck, right? We need a hole in it though, so we can get it out.
Yep.
All right, let's make a jam chuck with a hole in it. Remember the hole.
We got a design opportunity here, an aberration in the demo.
All right.
We just roll with the punches.
Oh,
Get that right, man.
I probably could just use that.
Yep, that's what I would do.
That's what I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah. All right. We'll go with that.
Gently though.
Very gently.
I put some shelving paper around it so it wouldn't mar it.
Yeah, or painter's tape or something. But I'm gonna sand it off.
Walmart foam.
There you go.
Inside of a rubber tractor tire. I did some dumpster diving years ago and pulled some tractor tires. Yeah, and pulled some tractor tires out of the trash behind a small motor repair company and cut them up, and they're perfect for these things. I still have all the circles.
Oh, nice. All right. Let's go ahead and smooth this over. The only thing about doing it this way is that you can't sand it. I kind of need. Yeah, I won't be able to sand the lip no matter what. Huh. All right. Apparently this is sanding by hand. Because I won't be able to get down in there to sand the lip of it.
Use what you got to make a tendon and then reverse it and sand it.
Yeah.
I'd say vacuum chuck, but it's got a hole in it.
Right. All right. Yeah, I can get most of it. I just can't get down in there quite far enough. There's nothing wrong with sanding by hand. Okay. No, we'll just do one grid on that. So, sorry, I'm just trying to run through in my head how to. We do have a hole there. So you could.
How'd you hold the last one?
I used the coal jaws and it was just a little bit bigger around.
Oh, yeah.
So it actually just fit in there perfect.
Could you put it on a
Um,
drill bit? Use your drill bit in the Jacobs chuck? Run it
Yeah, you
through,
could do that. Yeah, you have the hole in it there, so you could hold on to it
right?
and sand it like that. Yeah.
A dead center with a jam truck on the tailstock end. Press it against the dead center to drive it. And then put a
Right.
cup center on the other
Okay.
side, just enough to sand where you couldn't sand before.
Yep. Yep. All right. All right. Well,
For a
I will
soft
do
touch.
that. Yeah, so it doesn't because it's not gonna bite on anything. Yeah.
Yeah, drive center for the top and a your dead center for the top and a soft touch for the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could turn
All
a
right.
little peg to hold. You could turn a little peg to hold it in your with a butt end to hold it in your Jacobs chuck also.
Yeah. Yep. I could just spin it and when
Yep.
somebody could come over and sand it.
Sure.
Call Robin to the shop.
Yeah.
Got some homework.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna go back over to the oscillating sander for just a second. I will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. You might be able to hear this.
Nah, probably not. Zoom is excellent at suppressing all sounds. Even if you had your dust collection on, we wouldn't hear it.
Yeah, I know. It's actually nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's great for demoing. Except for those that like to hear the sound.
Yeah. I won't do all of them. You can't see it anyway, but that is how I did I just used I think it's maybe 3/4 inch, standing drum, but you can make, depending on the size, you can make bigger ones, smaller ones,
Okay.
So, and I held it up there like this. I do have a little tool I'll show you here real quick that kind of works really well too. It works to do finish work on stuff like this that I use all the time. Anytime I'm doing, it's a little bit bigger than what we're working with, but not much. Give
Do
me
you
one
need to
second.
switch cameras, Carl?
Nope. I'm coming right
Oh,
back
okay.
to the lathe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got this thing. Hang on. Trying to think. This little guy right here works perfect for stuff like this. I can't, I'm trying to think. Okay, that's what it was. I got this little thing. It's a little bladder. You fill it up, just got a tire thing in there. You hit it with
Okay.
air and it expands it. These sleeves slide on and off, and they have tons of different grits. You can go all the way up to, I think, 400 on them, from like 80 up there. And so I use this thing on the lathe like this. It's meant to just go on a drill, and so this thing spins. So you can just put it on your cordless drill. You got your drill there, and sand oddball shaped things. But it works great on the lathe too. So you take an old live center, and I took the center of it out, put this in there. The valve for it, the tire valve, goes inside of there. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. Hang on. Tip the camera a little bit. All right. So that's
see it.
hollow now, and it goes right over the tire valve and holds it in there just like that. And then you can turn the lathe on any speed you want. I always go slow for stuff like this, but sanding little things like this, and then you can actually just run through the grits on it too, and sand whatever you want. And
You
it
remember
works.
where you got that?
Yes, I do. I got this tool at Grizzly 15 years ago or so, but don't buy the sleeves from them because they want like $5 a piece for them. Klingspor has the same sleeves, and they were like $1 something. So I got this at Grizzly, and I believe it was a Shop Fox is what the brand was. And I can't remember when I got it, it was like $49 or something. Last time I saw it, I think it was a little more than that, but it's held up really well. The only thing I had to buy for it is a new bladder. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, anytime you're sanding some oddball little thing like, like this, I sand on this thing all the time when I have weird shapes. I'll show you the thing. Yeah, and this is all ball bearings, and like I said, I've had it for years, and it still holds up. So the little tire gauge right there, just release the air with your fingernail, and
How about
it's
that?
rubber bladder. And I had to replace this one time. So, and Grizzly had the little sleeves, and I ordered it and put the new one on and ready to go. I just know that when I got it years ago, I think, they were I don't know, probably 50 cents or something a piece, but I went back to buy some more and they were super expensive. So I got them from Klingspor and they had them a lot cheaper. And they just slide over like that and turn it on. And the nice thing about it too is you don't have to inflate that little bladder very much. And if you have something that's, give me a sec, let me put some air back into it. If you have an oddball shape, something that you're trying to get it to wrap around, this is why I love them too. Is you can just put a little bit of air in them and it's gushy. It, when you're pushing on it, it wraps around like a, you know, any kind of curved little surface like that. You can push on it and it'll wrap itself around it and sand around stuff. So it's really, really handy. Trying to look around here, see if there's something that I did with it recently, but I don't see anything. But yeah, they're handy little things if you do, you know, oddball stuff, you know, that sometimes you need them. I make these mirrors, these like wall mirrors, but they aren't turned or anything. And that's why I got it. And it worked great for them.
Link in chat for it, folks.
No, what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
I
we
put
put
the
a
link in the
put a
chat.
link in the chat.
Oh, you found it. Okay. Yeah.
It's called a pneumatic drum sander.
Yeah. It's slick. All right. All right. Moment of truth here. There's the little head. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So head pops in there, just put a little bit of glue on there, pop it in just like so. And like I said, I would finish sanding that all the way up to 600. There's a little hat. You can tip that any way you like. And then the umbrella, the hole was a little bit small, but probably sand it out a little bit in there. And then you cut that off whatever size you want. So the only thing I didn't do is because all of this is done like off the lathe, just sanding. So all of those the arms, the little book I made, those are oak dowels. So I just, you know, would cut them at an angle, put them up there. And so like with this, I can't remember whether I used toothpicks or small skewers. Either one of those. Drops 2 things. I'm trying to get employee of the month.
Well, in fairness, you only dropped one thing and the other one rolled off.
But to put those things in as for extra strength, I drill a little hole and I put a toothpick or a small skewer in them to get them to a little more strength on them. You know, like a little hand, I just drilled a hole in it, made a little pocketbook. And you can kind of, with those, as far as length goes, you just kind of keep playing around with them. Even on these, I probably made them a lot longer and I just kept shrinking them up until I felt they looked right. Yeah.
They look great.
Yep.
It looks great.
Thanks.
A great demo, Carl.
What a great demo.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, awesome demo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, very nice demo.
Awesome, Carl.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, folks,
it was
we'll
great.
open it up for questions and comments. Have decorum. Don't step on each other when you're talking.
Okay, let me grab a chair.
And don't be bashful, folks.
He explained everything very good.
Well, yes, he did.
It went great. It was really good and interesting. Interesting.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks, Eddie. Oh, yeah, it's I love turning little boxes, but I also love doing stuff like that where it's you got to fit little pieces together. I like kind of just playing around with stuff like that. That's kind
And
of
you can
kind of
design,
fun.
you can change it any way your heart wants you to. I mean, you can
Yeah,
get into the theme and just keep stacking. Like you said, you shorter, longer, or whatever, or seems to work out. It's very open palette, as they
Yep.
say.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, even
Carl, we have,
even with like
have
a oop,
sorry, we have a question in chat and they're wanting to know if you have your own stickers.
yes, we have stickers. We have yes. Yep, we have stickers.
And if somebody wanted to acquire stickers, how would they send an email to Roof Miles?
Yes, not Ruth Niles. It's Niles. Hang on, I will put it in the chat, and then
Okay.
just send an
NilesBottlestoppers.com.
Yes, that is the website. But hang on, I will put my email in there, and that way you can just email me with your address or write sticker or whatever, and I'll send you stickers.
Outstanding.
There we go. Yeah. Yep.
I'm
Right on.
looking at
Thank
the
you.
wall behind them. Do you see ours back on that wall back there, Carl? Well,
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah,
Right-hand
there.
corner.
I got it
Right
now.
there.
Okay.
And I even have one on our cash register for the shows.
Yeah, I know that.
Captain Eddie strikes again. And in all fairness, I put Eddie up to that. I told Eddie I'd like, anytime he's around or any of the other members are around, that they're to take a sticker and they're to slap it on the demonstration lathe or, somebody else that they're
Yep.
close to and, slap it on one of their items so it can be presented loud and proud for us. So we appreciate you keeping it there, Carl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It was,
So I'll tell you,
it was funny.
I'll tell you what,
We were
guys.
getting,
Go ahead, Carl.
we were unloading everything for the Oregon show and pulled the cash register out, and there it was. Thought that's awesome.
Right? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So back in February when me and Carl first started talking about doing a demo, and Carl was all open. He's like, I can do whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, he's got so many cool things. He's done over the past. So myself and Billy and Scott, we were all perusing through the majority of the library. It probably took us 2-3 weeks, before we all kind of landed on the same theme. And, so it was really nice to see this type of turning done, especially with the umbrella and how it comes together and proportions of everything that goes together. So once again, just fantastic demo. And I really appreciate you coming in and doing us a demo tonight, Carl. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you guys for
I know
having
the
me.
captain does too.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome back anytime. Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure I'll be hitting you later on.
Yeah.
Not every week,
Absolutely.
but maybe every other week. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah. I'm happy to do it anytime. In fact, when I talked to you last, we had already put in, because you have to the week before for the dog training thing. So I called them on Monday and said, I can't be there this Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that's
Oh.
excellent. So does anybody have any questions?
Well, I do got to say one thing. It's not a question, but in 2020, during the pandemic, I got Carl to do a demo for the Detroit area woodturners on Zoom. And we went nuts trying to figure out what we wanted because he's done so much. And so I said, do a mug with a handle, because I saw that video not too long before that, and I really liked it. it's 2025 and we still got people making those mugs.
That's awesome.
It's just incredible. And we argue
Right.
over the epoxies to use on it.
Well, of course, you got to argue about something, right, Jeff?
Yeah, but
Oh,
Sure. Yeah, and I'm
Hey,
sure
Carl.
next week we'll have some little ladies with umbrellas being made.
I sure hope so. I really want to see this.
Hey, Carl, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. No, I was gonna say, thanks a lot, Carl. I was
Oh.
away from my phone when you were ending, but thank you very much for the evening.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
I told you he'd be back, Carl, didn't I? I told you he'd be back. Look,
Right?
Trying to make something to eat.
There you go. You're allowed, Al. You're allowed. All right. Well, if there's no further questions or comments for Carl, then we will carry on with
Thank you,
a
Carl.
little bit of
Thank you,
gallery
Carl.
here.
All right.
Once
Thank you
again,
guys so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I'm gonna go get some dinner.
All right. Sounds
Thanks again,
good.
Carl.
We'll talk later on.
Didn't do any juggling, Carl. You should have done juggling.
I know the juggling and singing. No, nobody wants to see that.
Thank you, Carl. That was
Thank
awesome.
you, Kyle. Good night.
All right. Thank you guys. Good night.
Great, great,
All right,
great
we'll
demo.
talk
Much
later.
appreciated.
Bye
Good
now.
night, Carl.
Thanks.
You
Good
said-
All
night.
right.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
let's pick gallery back up. Let's go to Roger, and then after Roger, Matt, you can pick things up for us here. Let's see.
Yeah, we're ready for you, Roger. Go right ahead.
Oh my goodness, Roger.
There we go.
We're
Wait.
ready.
Highlight Roger. There
We're
he-
ready.
There he is.
Okay. It's
See,
not
Roger
finished
got the
yet.
memo.
What's that?
Wow.
Roger got the memo.
Last week, in the after hours, they were talking about their cats, so I said, how about a segmented one? And it is
That's
hollow.
good.
So it'd be
Wow.
easy to make it into an urn if it needed to be. So
Wow.
That's awesome, Roger.
That's
is
cool.
Very nice.
zebra wood.
Oh, I was going to ask you what that was. That is a really cool effect.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
it did almost like
Putty tat.
fur figure. Cool.
Yeah, that is
Awesome,
really.
Rod.
That's
awesome.
Nice.
What you gonna use for eyes, Roger?
I don't know yet. I don't think I need to buy, 50
I
sets
can-
of eyes.
I can put some in an envelope. I can put some in an envelope for you.
It doesn't need eyes. It's great as it is.
Turn it
you
the
know,
other
Roger.
way.
You can just turn some out of African blackwood or ebony
Mhm.
Yep.
and then inlay like a green or a yellow or vice versa.
It almost looks like it's got eyes in there in the right spot, like little half closed eyes.
Yeah, little half
Looks
moons.
good.
Yeah. In a Tim
Cool.
Burton kind of way. Yep.
And the way
Yeah.
the pieces are in the middle at the center almost look like a cat nose and a mouth,
Yeah.
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 right?
Very nice, Roger. I wouldn't change a thing or add
Yep.
anything. Very nice.
Yeah.
Had a better set of eyes on the back side. What's
No.
Got
that?
eye-
Cool.
Cat's got
Turn it
eyes in the
so-
back of the head.
Right?
Show the back side.
Yeah.
Yeah, show your
Perfect
back
set of
side.
eyes right
Good night,
there.
Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ears are wrong way.
Yeah, they're a little low.
That's not our fault.
Garfield.
Yeah.
Cute,
Beautiful.
very cute.
Very nice.
job.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you,
So
Roger.
they were
Hey,
wanting
Raj.
to know how hard it is to do segmented. See, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's open. If you want to use it as an urn, all you need to do is
Right. Make your
Tap it.
plug. Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Good job,
cool.
Roger.
Wow.
all right.
Next up is Brent.
Great job, Roger.
Thank you.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? So I've been experimenting with something new, trying to do some encaustic work. So
Oh,
the turning is nothing special. This is just a piece of junk box elder that was laying around. So, and this is encaustic. If you're not familiar with it, it's wax, beeswax with Damar resin on it and such. So many layers. It's taken me a long time to learn how to do this. It's typically done on flat work. Took me a lot of practice to figure out how to do this on a round thing because you're fighting gravity. The stuff wants to pour off. So it's a big exercise in heat control. So it's quite, I found it quite challenging to learn how to control heat. So that was my first one.
Wow.
This is my second one.
Oh, wow. Holy
oh,
moly.
Oh my.
What an effect.
Very cool.
holy smokes.
It's the bold lines and such is a shellac burn. So, but I'm having a lot of fun with this. So learn a lot. You can do. It's amazing the kind of stuff you can do with this encaustic stuff. So probably be seeing a lot more of this stuff from me here and such because there's
Is there a way to protect it? Is there a way to protect it from the heat and stuff? once you're
well,
done?
no, it's you don't want to keep this in a hot car and stuff. It's going to be it's a little tougher with the Damar resin. It's tougher than than normal beeswax. It'll handle, they say, up to about 160 degrees. But
Okay.
but you know, you've got to be a little careful and such. But I do put
But you don't even want to leave it in the sun. I know that.
yeah, you don't want to do that. I did put a little boiled linseed oil on it, so that helped protect it a little bit. But it's kind of fun. But I'm going to be doing a lot of practice or projects with texture. You can do a lot of texture in it. You can put all sorts of things in it, papers, photos. You're only limited by your imagination and what you can do with this stuff I'm learning and such. So, but these are kind of my first two attempts on three-dimensional types of things. I tried some stuff on flat boards and such, and it's a whole lot easier because you're not fighting gravity. But I put the stuff on the lathe with this, and I learned, you know, just working at the very top here, so in very small areas to keep the wax from pouring off, and it still pours off, but it's a fun little endeavor and such. So
That's gorgeous.
Very nice, Brent.
Beautiful results.
So anyhow, that's what I got tonight. So
Well, thanks, Brent.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is cool.
All right, so I'm up next. So I've shown this piece last week. So this is the little pewter walnut piece, but I wanted to show two things with it. First of all, this texture at the bottom, this is done with the Wagner Knurling tool. So that's the texture you get with the Wagner Knurling tool. And I wanted to show the bottom and how shiny I got it. I don't know if you can actually see that, but this is sanded. Oh, that's not going to work. This is sanded to, it's really shiny, and it's sanded with the micro mesh up to 12,000 grit, I think. So, but it works out real good. So anyway, I just wanted to show that. But it's got several coats of lacquer on it now, so it's all ready to go.
Hey, Matt, the lacquers, is that going to stop the pewter from changing colors on you?
Yes, it will stop it from oxidizing and getting the gray coating on it. Yes,
that's what I was thinking.
It will, because when I first started, let me take the top off so I don't drop it. So when I first started putting the coats of finish on it, I engraved the bottom of it. It's got I engraved my name in the bottom of it. Okay, there you go. But when I was finishing it, I didn't get the bottom with lacquer. So when I came out like yesterday to do the final coats, it had grayed on the bottom. So I sanded it off, starting with 5,000 grit, and sanded the gray oxidation off, and then went up through the micro mesh to get it really, really shiny. And then put 2 coats of lacquer on it, but the rest of the piece didn't get the residue on it. So yeah, the short answer is any coating you put on it and you want to put it on very quickly after you've got the final surface to where you want it, that protects it from oxidizing, from getting the coating on it.
Thank you.
Did you pour that shape in a mold, or did you make a billet and turn it? The foot.
All of the above. So there's three pewter parts on this piece. Okay. So the first part was this part was cast in casting sand and then turned on the lathe.
Yeah.
And then the ring was cast in a piece of scrap wood and then turned to shape on the lathe. And then the finial was also cast in the casting sand and then turned on the lathe. And on my Facebook page, you can see in the little, like I made a wood mold and put it into the casting sand before I poured the molten pewter into it. Okay. And you can see the part of it that was in the mold. So I made a little, round flat spot so I could hold it in the chuck, and you can see what the raw casting looks like on that picture on my Facebook page. Because part of it, the part that's in the chuck, is the raw bit that was from the casting.
Yeah.
So, and it held really good, and it was consistent. And I didn't even have to sand the finial. It's just, that's the finish. It's not showing up well on my camera. I don't know what's going on here tonight, but anyway.
Very nice piece.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. So next up is Victor Todd. What do you got, Vic?
All right. Well, last week I picked up a applewood crotch that I had been sitting in my shop for a couple of years, and finally decided to do something with it. So I've got about 10 and a quarter inch applewood crotch, live edge.
Wow.
Art bowl.
Wow.
And I was telling JJ about it, walking, and he said, "Hey, I've already sent him some pictures," and he said, show it this next week. So.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty.
Yep. Everybody that showed pictures tonight, you need to be sending it to the editor so it can get into the newsletter.
Yeah, I think I finally remembered to send him yesterday. So.
Beautiful.
And the day after I made it, it sold. So it's waiting to go to its forever home.
Nice.
And the friend that bought it asked me to make her some set of salad utensils. So got some cherry and made a salad fork and spoon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very
Not
cool.
so long.
Those are fun to make, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got some more in the process of getting made, because I've already got upstairs boxed up my 9-inch salted maple bowl that I showed a few weeks back. Sold to another TikTok friend, and I said, "Hey, I could make you some utensils for that too." Then she comes back, "Hey, can you make stuff for my mother-in-law too? She's coming to visit." So I've got 2 sets to make.
There you go. Nice.
So this was fun to turn. I used a lot of super glue to make sure this bark stayed on.
As you should.
So I used a good part of a bottle of thin. Keep soaking into that ambient on the bark to keep it in there. So,
yeah, that's how it works.
Much what I got right now.
Reading the newsletter, I'm going to be sending out in the coming newsletters. I don't know, next issue, probably 2 issues from now. My process on saving the bark on wood that doesn't involve using up that expensive super glue, and I tested it out on cedar.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll wait instead of asking what it was. But yeah, that's all I got, because everything else is still packed up for the next show. So.
Very cool.
Good.
Well, good luck with your show, Victor. Thank you. Next up is Billy.
Hello, Billy.
Alrighty. Not to throw shade at Carl by any stretch of the imagination.
No shade at all.
No. And this doesn't hold a candle to his, but I turned this 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It's
Nice.
a lady pen. There's a wood turner in the UK named Paul Lowsby that makes these and puts big inserts in them. And he's got a DVD showing how he does it. So I decided to take it a step further and I made a kitless fountain pen with it.
Oh,
Cool. Very
And,
nice.
and
Cool.
the base is a little bit small.
It's an inkwell?
No, it's actually a fountain pen using Schmidt fountain pen parts.
An insert.
Uh,
Cool. Very
yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Right on.
And I made it so that I could just use the Schmidt fountain pen parts and press it in here, and now I can screw on. And it came with this little protective cap. The base is a little bit small, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it looks great, Billy.
I love it.
Cool.
Yep.
Very nice.
What'd you make it out of?
It's maple,
Okay.
a couple of coats of lacquer on it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Very
yeah,
cool,
it's
Billy.
well, it's curly maple. You can see some of the curl up here, maybe. I can see it, but the camera's not picking it up real well.
Is that two
But
center?
yeah,
Two
it's got
center?
some curl right in through here. 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Three center. Three.
Yeah, 3, maybe 4. I put it in so many directions. I'd have to go through the DVD to remember how many. And I just had to get the shape just the way I wanted it.
Yeah,
And it would be cool to turn something like this with a skirt like he had on his.
Yeah.
But yeah,
right.
it just something you can do.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for showing that, Billy.
No
Very
problem.
cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy. So Sheila said she had something to show us. What you got, Sheila?
Just this piece that I showed a while ago, but I finally did the lid for it.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Nice.
There you go.
Wow.
Stuck with the same thing.
Very nice.
thought that would work.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Very nice.
So did you glue all that up? You know, 'cause you showed the main vessel last week, so you did the gluing and everything this week and got it all turned. That's great.
It's mostly maple or walnut, and I just inlaid the top pieces. But there is
Oh,
a bit
okay.
of something else on the bottom because I wasn't sure if I had enough thickness, but I probably could have made it smaller.
Oh,
And not quite that high.
fine. Looks great.
Actually, the proportions are just right. It looks great.
I think so.
Yeah, it
too.
looks good.
Okay. Hey, question for people that do urns and you do your logos. Do you do them on the bottom
Yes.
still?
I signed the bottom,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they want the bottom engraved. Then I
Yeah,
sign
that's-
the inside of the lid.
That's what I was kind of wondering. I did my uncle's urn and I put his information on the bottom. And I
Yeah.
put my logo inside the lid that will never be seen.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I do.
That's good.
Well,
That's good.
At least the people that bought it know who made it will see it. So,
Yeah.
and he'll be able to look at it for his eternity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Thanks,
Thanks.
Sheila. All right, Dane, that's all I have on my list. So we're gonna go back to you.
I have
Oh.
a few.
I think Kate's got some.
Well, I
Yeah,
didn't
sure.
see his name. Okay, yeah. We'll go to Kate.
I
Hang on,
just said
Kate.
I have a few. I probably should have said I have some show and tell, but that's okay.
You were
It's
supposed to
been a
put it in
while. So,
chat.
hey everyone, hope all's well. Been a while. Been a little busy, but I've been busy this month. I've had 5 demos this month alone. So I have demo pieces to show you. This was a practice piece. The first demo, first week of the month, was a tower top. So this one I did out of walnut and spalted maple.
Nice.
So there's the lid. And then this one is only 2-piece. So this comes off and then this comes off. So there we are there. Not quite finished to my liking yet, but the spalted maple looks really nice. And then whatever I do the body of the box, I always like to match the finial and then the base and the lid to get the color contrast and some symmetry in the pieces. So this was a practice piece I made for the demo. This is the demo piece I made in the demo. This one is 4. So I have a cherry base, brown maple with 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments, a cherry lid, and a purple heart finial. So I'll open some of these. There's 1.
Cool.
Here's 2.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's 3. And here's
Oh,
4.
that's fascinating.
Yeah. So, and then they can
Overachiever.
put their jewelry, their earrings and whatnot in there. And it does have the grain match.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
So that's the one I did in the demo. Not long after I saw Dane's demo on a funnel, I never really made one, but I always wanted to. So I decided to make an oil filter, an oil funnel. That week I needed an oil change. I didn't have a plastic oil filter funnel. So I made one out of a SPF fence post. So it's part of the 2x4 challenge, I guess, since it's the same material. Here it is here, complete with your finger hold. So there we are there.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness.
I like
It's an
that.
eighth of an inch wall thickness.
Cool.
And I
It's
used
too pretty to put used motor oil through, or even new.
Yeah, so that was fun, a fun project. And I have a demo. Pardon?
Don't look like you used it.
No, I cleaned it really well.
Okay. Okay, I can see the darkness down in the funnel part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I cleaned it fairly well. I got a good finish on it and did it quickly and wiped it clean and ran
Right.
some mineral spirits through it to get the oil off. And then that also took the oil degreaser. I used some Dawn degreasing soap as well. So a lot of that is the shadow itself. It is still clean in there, but I cleaned it right away so it wouldn't stain or affect the finish. But it was fun. I used a step drill to get the increments of the size reducing, but then I made my own tool so I could actually turn and blend all those step drills together to get one uniform wall thickness to match the outer wall thickness. So
Wow.
everything is
Wow.
an eighth of an inch wall thickness. It was a challenge, and I mean, people have made funnels. I made some in my infancy of turning, and I always wanted to be part of I meant to do it, not the oops, I shouldn't have done another cut club. So anybody who wants a challenge, try and make a real life oil filter. This was fun too because I created that in the beginning, and then I cut it on the bandsaw, and then I sanded and blended it to the eighth of an inch that the wall thickness is. So
wow.
I cut just shy of the line, and then I sanded even the entry marks were with the bandsaw, a fine blade. Yeah, and it turned out great. So it was fun. I have a demo of this in a week. And then also for the tower top, I showed examples of where you can go, because I like history, medieval history, archery, so I wanted to throw everything together. So I'm in the process of carving and creating a medieval archer tower.
Wow.
So here's the first lit one. Here's the second one.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the third one. And then you can see here where I'm getting the cobblestone brick all carved up.
Oh, wow, that looks great.
Wow.
So it's fun. It's time consuming.
Now we know what Kate does in his spare time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then I had one demo 2 weeks ago back to back. So I had a demo in England from 2:30 to 4. I had to pack up, rush out, hour drive to another club. And then I had the same demo for them. So I did my water droplet box. So this is it here.
Oh, wow.
This is the one I did for England. This is white maple, dyed red. And then I rushed off and I did a green one for a local club about an hour east of me. I did one in an emerald green or a jade green. And this one was fun as well. Not quite finished yet. Still needs to be a little shinier. But that's a fun project. And that was back to back in a day. And then the week after that, I had a demo for a Peterborough club, which is 45 minutes east of me. And I turned the term Cressil, similar to the demo I did for the Worldwide Wood Turning Club, probably about a year ago. So this is ash. This is walnut. The top itself is Spectraply, which is green, blue, and brown. And the handle is Babinga.
Oh, okay.
And it's and I used a Forstner bit to drill the hole. So I'm still working on a sink that I'm filling all the voids in epoxy. So I had some leftover epoxy. I didn't want to waste it. So I put little dabs of gold flaked black epoxy in the center for a little color contrast. And then it's a little launching part for the top itself. Well, let's see if I can do it without dropping it here. Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Wow.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Nice.
Oh.
I like that.
Sweet.
And that's
Very
it for
nice,
me.
Cade.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you, Cade.
Thanks,
That's
Cade.
quite a lot. You're a very busy guy.
Thanks, everyone.
What a way to close out the show.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go,
For
Dan.
sure.
So we got 5 minutes.
Oh, echo in. Hit the wrong button. Sorry. So I just put a message in the chat. You know, as always, you know, I'm always looking for demonstrators. We have our normal 10 to 15 folks that are demonstrating for us and have been, you know, for the last 5.7 years now. We would love to get some new blood in, bring you into the fold, and give some of the regulars a break on the Worldwide Wood Turning Demonstration Club. So if you would like to invite us into your shop, show us something unique or something that you do that you like to do, you know, the way you like to turn, your methods, we would be more than appreciative of you allowing us to do that. All you got to do is reach out to me, reach out to Captain Eddie, Scott, Billy, any of the other co-hosts, David, send an email to the webmaster. But beyond that, I hope y'all enjoyed today's meeting. I think we had a fantastic demonstration put on by Carl Jacobson. It was swell for him to come in. Of course, he's been a member of us, you know, for a very long time, at least 5 years. If I can remember back correctly, he's been along for the ride, sitting in the background, but he's always been partaking, you know, on the Facebook page and whatnot. So, and he's been sporting our little logo up on his wall, loud and proud, for all his demos. So it's good advertising for us as well. So, with that, we had a lot of good gallery tonight, a lot of good stuff to look at, and you know, for that, you know, I thank everybody that showed up. We expect to have the webpage up and running at the latest tomorrow morning. I believe it's being reloaded now. It was down for some maintenance issues for the last day. We've been having some issues with it here recently. We think we've got everything covered on that. So it should be up and running full strength tomorrow. For those that are here and that get on to the meeting via the webpage, I highly recommend you download the Zoom app. It costs you nothing. You've got to have no membership to it, and you start accessing the meetings through the Zoom app instead of through the webpage. It'll run better on your equipment wherever you're accessing it at, as opposed to doing it over the internet through the webpage, going through
Recyclable stuff to take out.
webpage co-host. Sorry, somebody was saying something.
No,
How do you
somebody had open.
access it through Zoom? Don't you gotta have a code?
Yeah, there's a link and there's a number that you punch in, and if you need that, I can put that into the chat right now. So I would
Thank
highly
you.
recommend. I highly recommend y'all start doing that. That way, when the web page is down, or God forbid we get hijacked and we get hacked, that's not a readily available quick fix for us. You're not going to be able to get into the meetings.
Hey, Dane, when I got kicked out tonight, I had to go back to the Zoom app, and that's how I got back in tonight.
Right.
When you go to the app,
So I just posted the phone number in the chat.
the meeting in that, the link comes up.
860-425-52131. You download the Zoom link, and you'll have once it installs on your computer or onto your phone or your tablet, then you'll have a little box that says, meeting ID. All you do is type in that 860-425-52131. Hit join, and it'll take you right to the meeting.
Thank you.
And Zoom will store it from then on, and all you gotta do is hit the join meeting, and pick whatever meeting you got looked at last, and it'll take you there.
Yep. So I put the full Zoom link in chat also. And what I did is I made a little desktop shortcut and put that in it as the property, and it takes me right to the meeting. I don't have to go through the website anymore.
Right. But that's only provided you've got the Zoom on your local machine.
Right.
You got to have Zoom installed.
You got to have.
Well, I think that this link goes to. I think that this link goes to the website, and if you don't have Zoom installed, it'll install the runtime
Right,
piece of it.
but that's what I'm saying. If the website is down, you're not going to be able to access it, and so that's why our numbers were down so low tonight. It's because the website was down.
Dane, the link that I posted goes through the Zoom website, not through the Worldwide Woodturners website.
Okay, got it. Okay,
yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll download Zoom for them automatically, and then bring them to the meeting after it downloads.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, all good.
All right, sounds good. All right, so with that, we'll call this the end of the official meeting. And once again, I appreciate everybody coming out. It's been, the 39 people that are still here. For those that don't want to announce their departure, this is your time to say goodbye and pop out, or don't say goodbye, and nobody's looking for that kudos of having bye said to them. And we're gonna leave this. I'll leave the meeting open for what we call the after hours.